Angel Reese seems to be looking for a way out of the dumpster fire that is the Chicago Sky. And
over the last couple of years, Angel Reese has been one of the best illusions in the WNBA.
I think Angel Reese, and I'm saying this with my chest out, I think she's quit on the Chicago Sky.
Angel Reese might never play another game in a Chicago Sky uniform again.
I think she's quit on this season. I think this is a worse version than Kawhi Leonard. I think she's using her back as an excuse to sit out because she doesn't really care about basketball.
Jason Whitlock just called Angel Reese a fake. Not her game, not her stats, but her. He said she's faking a back injury to avoid losing with the Chicago Sky. And honestly, the evidence is starting to pile up. 5 games. That's how long Angel Reese has been injured while her team burns to the ground. 5 games of mysterious back problems that nobody can explain, nobody can timeline, and coincidentally started right when the Sky's season went off the rails.
You have no value. And so you can sit there and say, well, the same applies to Caitlin Clark. Yes, it does. But Caitlin Clark appears to have a legitimate injury.
Let's break down exactly what's been going down with Angel Reese and why this situation has everyone talking. Here's the thing about Angel Reese that nobody wants to admit out loud. This isn't just about basketball anymore. This is about a player who had everything handed to her in college and is now learning that the professional world doesn't care about your feelings.
I think she looks over at Caitlin Clark and says, hey, Caitlin Clark is out with a legitimate injury.
At LSU, she was protected. Coaches built systems around her emotions. Teammates catered to her moods. Fans worshipped her attitude. The trash talk was seen as confidence. The drama was seen as passion. Everything was perfect in her bubble. The WNBA doesn't work like that. Nobody's going to hold your hand when you're having a bad day. Your teammates aren't going to coddle you when you're feeling unsupported. The media isn't going to give you credit just for showing up. And Angel Reese is discovering that she might not be built for this level of mental toughness.
Angel Reese is the worst kind of star.
The back injury story becomes more suspicious when you realize the timeline. Right when the pressure mounted, right when the criticism started getting real, right when it became obvious that the Sky weren't going to be the championship team she probably expected to join, suddenly she can't play because of mysterious back problems. Professional athletes play through pain every single day. They get cortisone shots, they get treatment, they find ways to contribute even when they're not at 100%. But Angel Reese has been completely absent from her team for over a month with an injury that nobody can explain or put a timeline on.
But just because you're famous, it doesn't mean you're box office. Just because you're famous, it does not mean you're good business.
Here's where Angel Reese really lost the plot. She suggested her Chicago Sky teammates weren't supportive enough for her. Read that again. A professional athlete making millions of dollars, complaining that her teammates aren't giving her enough emotional support.
The Chicago Sky sucked this year. Peace out. No one's going to call her out on that.
This isn't high school. This isn't college. This is the WNBA, where grown women are trying to win basketball games and feed their families. Nobody has time to make sure Angel Reese is feeling good about herself every day. The entitlement is staggering. Instead of looking in the mirror and asking what she could do better, what she could contribute more of, how she could help her team win games, she's pointing fingers at her teammates for not being supportive enough. And now those same teammates are out there getting embarrassed on national television while their supposed star player deals with hurt feelings and sore backs. The disconnect is absolutely mind-blowing. Angel Reese has missed the Sky's last 5 games due to a back issue, with her last appearance in July. On paper, it's a simple injury report.
She was literally in a back brace at the last game. From what I had heard, she was in a back brace. And I don't know why people were saying, oh, like, you know what? Sorry. It didn't seem like she got hurt against Minnesota. And I was just like, you know what? They're probably just resting. They don't want to pick up her 8 tech. This is their Super Bowl. It is what it is.
A young player dealing with the physical demands of professional basketball. Nothing unusual there, right? Wrong. Jason Whitlock has branded Angel Reese a worse version of Kawhi Leonard amid allegations she's faking injury to avoid losing in Chicago. The comparisons to Leonard sting because everyone remembers how that saga played out. A superstar player, injury concerns, questions about commitment, and ultimately a messy separation.
Angel Reese looks like a star. She presents herself as a star. Her pretend friends in the media try desperately to convince us that she is a star. But for some reason, no one else believes it.
But here's where it gets really messy. The Chicago Sky don't know when two-time WNBA All-Star Angel Reese will play again. Think about that for a second. Your franchise player, your all-star, your supposed cornerstone, and the organization has no timeline for her return? That's not how professional sports work when everyone's on the same page. The accusations are flying fast and furious. Critics are calling Reese the Queen of Quit, suggesting she's following a pattern that started back in college. They point to her transfer from Maryland to LSU, questioning whether she has the mental toughness to stick things out when times get tough.
At the end of the day, if you got a back injury, just stay at home. Like, people are out here saying Angel Reese is pulling a Dewana.
One WNBA scout thinks the two-time All-Star shouldn't play again this season, essentially writing off her entire campaign. When anonymous league insiders are going on record saying a player should shut it down, that's not about protecting health, that's about giving up. The timing is suspicious. The Sky are struggling. The season isn't going according to plan. The pressure is mounting. And suddenly, Angel Reese develops a mysterious back injury that no one can put a timeline on. The optics are terrible. During her absence, she shared a self-affirming message about personal growth and tuning out criticism. While she's posting cryptic messages about only fearing the creator on social media, her teammates are out there fighting for their playoff lives without their supposed star player. Here's the brutal truth that no one wants to say out loud. While Angel Reese is dealing with injury concerns and posting motivational quotes on Instagram, Caitlin Clark is out there proving she's everything the WNBA needed and more. Clark took her lumps early in the season. She dealt with physical play, criticism, and pressure that would have broken most rookies. But you know what she didn't do? Disappear when her team needed her most. While Reese is questioning her support system and dealing with mysterious injuries, Clark transformed the Indiana Fever from a laughingstock into a legitimate playoff contender. She's breaking records, selling out arenas, and carrying herself like a true professional every single night. The contrast is stark and embarrassing for Reese. They were supposed to be rivals, two generational talents who would elevate women's basketball together. Instead, one is proving she's built for the professional level, while the other is facing questions about her commitment to the game. Clark's dealing with double teams, physical defense, and all the pressure that comes with being the face of women's basketball. Reese is dealing with hurt feelings and back soreness. The difference in mentality is glaring. The Chicago Sky are living through their worst nightmare right now. They traded up in the draft lottery hoping to land a franchise cornerstone. They got Angel Reese at 7th overall and thought they hit the jackpot. A national champion with attitude, skill, and the kind of personality that could sell tickets and jerseys.
All we've heard is day-to-day, and Angel Reese has disappeared. She knew, she identified once they lost Vandersloot, their point guard, early in the year. And once they started getting their brains beat in, hey, we're not going to win anything this year. I'm not putting these L's on my resume.
Instead, they got a player who's now being called the Queen of Quit by analysts and fans across the league. They got someone who disappears when the going gets tough, who blames teammates for not being supportive enough, and who seems more interested in her social media presence than actually playing basketball. The Sky fired their coach this week, adding even more chaos to an already messy situation. When organizations start making desperate moves like that, it usually means they've lost control of their locker room. And guess who's at the center of all this dysfunction? Recent reports suggest that former Sky teammates have concerns about Angel Reese, though those have been addressed publicly. But the fact that these conversations are even happening tells you everything you need to know about the environment she's created in Chicago. The organization invested their future in Angel Reese, and right now, that investment is looking like one of the worst decisions in franchise history. You can't build a winning culture around a player who checks out mentally and physically whenever things don't go her way. While her team is fighting for their lives, Angel Reese is maintaining her social media presence like nothing's wrong. She's posting workout videos, motivational content, and living her best life while her teammates are getting demolished on the court without their supposed star. The disconnect is jarring. Professional athletes play through pain all the time. They sacrifice their bodies for their teams and their fans. But Reese seems more concerned with her image and her brand than actually helping her team win games. Her social media posts about personal growth and tuning out criticism feel tone deaf when your organization and teammates are counting on you to be available when it matters most. The Chicago Sky are stuck in an impossible situation. They invested their 7th overall pick in Angel Reese. They marketed her as their franchise player. They built their future around her potential. Now they're faced with the reality that their supposed cornerstone might not have the mental makeup to handle professional basketball. Recent trades involving draft picks show the organization is trying to retool, but you can't rebuild a franchise around a player who disappears when things get difficult. The Sky have to be asking themselves some tough questions. Is this the player they want representing their organization? Is this the mentality they want in their locker room? Is Angel Reese worth the drama and uncertainty she brings? The Angel Reese situation is bigger than just one player or one team. It's about the standards and expectations in women's professional basketball. If star players can check out mentally and physically whenever they're not happy with their situation, what does that say about the league's competitive integrity? The WNBA is trying to build something special. Television ratings are up, attendance is growing, sponsorship dollars are flowing in. But all of that progress can be undermined by players who don't take their professional responsibilities seriously. While Caitlin Clark is elevating the entire league with her play and professionalism, Angel Reese is creating distractions and questions about commitment that the WNBA doesn't need right now. Here's the harsh truth. Angel Reese might have been a college superstar, but she's struggling to make the transition to professional basketball mentally. The physical skills are there, the talent is undeniable, but the mentality and maturity that separates good college players from great professional players seems to be missing. College basketball is about individual moments and championship runs. Professional basketball is about grinding through 34 games, dealing with adversity, and showing up for your teammates even when everything isn't perfect. Reese excelled in the college environment, but seems lost in the professional one. The accusations about faking injuries might be harsh, but they stem from a pattern of behavior that suggests she's not fully committed to the professional grind. When things get tough, elite athletes find ways to contribute. They don't disappear with mysterious ailments and cryptic social media posts. If Angel Reese doesn't return soon and play at an elite level, she's going to face questions about her commitment for the rest of her career. The quitter label is hard to shake in professional sports, and right now that's the narrative that's building around her. The Chicago Sky season is slipping away while their supposed franchise player deals with injury concerns that nobody can explain or timeline. That's not how championship organizations operate, and it's not how franchise players behave. Reese has a choice to make. She can prove her critics wrong by returning to the court and playing through whatever discomfort she's experiencing, or she can continue down this path and cement her reputation as someone who checks out when things get difficult. Every game Angel Reese misses, every cryptic social media post she makes, every day that passes without clarity on her return makes the situation worse. The Chicago Sky invested in her as their future, but right now, that future looks uncertain at best. The contrast with Caitlin Clark couldn't be more stark. While Clark is out there proving she belongs at the professional level, Reese is creating questions about whether she has what it takes to succeed in the WNBA. The talent is undeniable. The potential is still there. But talent without commitment and mental toughness doesn't win championships or build franchises. Angel Reese is learning that lesson the hard way, and it might be too late to change the narrative. The question isn't whether Angel Reese will leave Chicago. It's whether Chicago will want her back after this disaster of a season ends. Angel Reese had everything she needed to be a WNBA superstar, but she's proving that sometimes having everything isn't enough. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.